Hello, this is Bob and Kathy from Up Trail 71, and we're off to our first adventure of the year for 2026. This will be one of our annual road trips, and we started out, of course, in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, drove to the southern part of Illinois, stayed in a motel there, and then we drove this morning all the way here to the northern part of Texas. It's actually the northeastern part of Texas. It's called the Piney Point Campground on Wright Patman Lake. And our campsite will be right here at A32. I hear some thunder off in the distance. This is actually a reservoir. You see whatever that part is for the reservoir over there. I think that's where overflow of water goes. Well, hopefully we don't get too many thunderstorms tonight. And tonight you can see we got a tent set up, a new tent we bought. We'll go over that in a minute. Got a nice picnic table made out of concrete. Got a grill, a little table there. And this is one of our new tents. Of course, it's not quite all set up yet. Got to fasten a couple more guy lines here. But it's a nature hike one. It's nice and roomy, and it's not exactly perfectly level over here, but good enough after a long drive today. But the nature hike's that's one of the lower brands. It's not cheap, but it's one of the lower ones. Overall good reviews, except someone said that it has a tendency to leak right in the seam right here. So I have some sealer for it. So hopefully if we have any issues, they'll solve it. Then we have a air mattress. We pump that up. Then we'll sleep on that tonight. It's a queen size. It's actually nice and roomy in here. And you can take the rain fly off and have just a screen, but of course it's going to rain tonight. Don't want to do that. Plenty of ventilation. So we're excited to sleep in here tonight. Better in a motel. Yeah, take one more little walk around here. Look at this lake. It's like a little point right here. See the water level is down some. Good morning. We are just starting to wake up. It is about 6:45 in the morning Central Time here in Texas, of course. It's a little cool out this morning. There'll be a lot of thunderstorms that came through for about 2.5 hours last night. Definitely a lot of heavy rain, and the inside of our tent stayed dry, so that's some good news there. But right now, I'm going to take a walk around. I can hear a lot of birds out. And this is a very beautiful park. You can see it's not very many people around here, just a couple of campgrounds. This campsite right here is extremely private. It's on this like little point you can see. But we'll take a walk around here, check out looks like the water level's down some, but it's kind of neat around here. Yeah, it's like a little bit of a bay in here. It's actually got some beach sand down there. Kind of nice. They see some birds right over in that direction. I'm not sure if that's some kind of crane or what it is. I'll take a walk down here by the point. There's a little bit of beach sand right here, but mostly a rocky shore. It's slippery. Yeah, this is nice. It's actually a little island right out there. It's a good sized reservoir. I haven't seen the actual dam yet, but I know it's somewhere over in this direction where this thing is there for water. I'm not sure exactly what it's for. Okay, we're going to start breaking down our tent, and this is a real nice area, but we gotta leave and head down to the Galveston area, and tonight we're gonna stay just at a hotel in Bolivar Beach. We'll check out some of that area. Then we're gonna have 2 nights at the Galveston State Park. Well, Friday night they're predicting a lot of rain, so it might be a messy day there, actually the entire day. but we'll see. We'll check out down there. Now we made it to Crystal Beach, which is on a Bolivar Peninsula just north of Galveston. We'll be taking a ferry ride to Galveston tomorrow to get to that area. But first, we're going to kick back and enjoy this area. It's a beautiful beach. There's some seaweed washed up, but they're cleaning up the area. And we parked right here, right on the beach, $10 parking permit. Right now I'm going to enjoy this water. Off in distance you can see an oil rig out in the Gulf. Oh, my wife of course likes searching for seashells. She's finding a lot of smaller ones right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out here in this nice warm water. It is very warm. This is definitely cool. Feels good. Nice warm water. A lot different than Lake Superior. Just going to walk around here for a while. We do have some, looks like rain moving in. Probably within 45 minutes. We'll have plenty of time to monkey around here. Well, of course that was fun. But we stopped just a little while ago next to the beach. I think it's a cross by a corner it's called. It's actually a cross. It's a large cross. Probably about a good 20-30 feet into the ocean. Then you got some really nice pictures of that. And I'll show them right now. Good morning. Our first stop's at Fort Travis Park on the Bolivar Peninsula. If you look right across, you can see Galveston over there. You see some ships in the port. They're all lined up, a bunch of them, heading out of this area. And there's some of the forts we'll go check out. Okay, we'll start checking out these forts. See, they have it fenced off for safety. I know when I researched this, I believe it was the mid-1800s when they built these. I'm sure we'll find some signage somewhere. Some kind of a bunker, it'd be kind of cool to check that out. Construction began in 1898. Completed in 1899. Of course, this is another one of the batteries for protecting the port. Oh, look at that old door on there. I'm sure it's all sealed and they don't want you in there. Another little room of some sort here. I know, I'm not sure why it's facing that way. Of course, you can put their rifles out and aim, I guess, out towards the port. Yeah, I think you see this way also, just to protect the battery. Okay, we have arrived at the Galveston Bolivar Ferry. So we'll be taking a ferry ride across this port. I think it's about maybe I'm guessing 3-4 mile ride. And that's what the ferry boat looks like. That one's going back in the Bolivar Peninsula and we're going Galveston. Chilly out here today for a boat ride. Dolphin tour boat ride. Salty for Galveston Island, Texas. Check out this ship behind us, one of those cruise ships. Some kind of a sailboat ship there. That's kind of neat. Look at the, I think there's actually some kind of a Navy ship over there.
USS Texas was launched in 1912 and commissioned back in 1914. She served in both World Wars. During World War I, they actually launched an aircraft off the deck of this ship right here. One of the first times that it's ever been done successfully that the U.S. Navy built something called an aircraft carrier. They didn't really need the Texas launch aircraft, but if you go kind of offshore into the Gulf, it could be in the, like up in the mountains. They're normally gender-based on the pods. So that means the males will stay with the males, the females will stay with the females, and they'll also stay with the Navy dolphins, which are called calves. They stay with the calves until they're about 16 years old, and they take them out of the house and tell them to get a life and get a job and not move back in when they're 30.
Well, now we're going to check out this nature trail. There's a lot of birds that migrate in these, it's sort of like a cedar brush. Forgot what it's called back there. It's just a short nature trail. It goes to the ocean. We're about 15 miles south of the Galveston Island State Park. We just got done setting up our tent a while ago there. We'll check to see this area. They say there's a lot of seashells. Alright, now it's time to do a little seashell searching. I like to look for the unique ones. And of course, we walked out in the Gulf here earlier. There's a bird. And that water is very warm. Still got some good sized waves. The water is actually a little bit cooler here than it was, well, I suppose yesterday. It's like a lot of these waves are pushing in colder water. That's a nice area. Still a lot of seaweed washed up around this area also. Alright, now we're going to take a walk around this Galveston State Park. You can tell it's a lot of flat land here, very few trees. I see a large bird way off in the distance. I don't know what that is. But these observation towers is good for viewing birds and stuff like that. See some palm trees over there. The parking lot's just over in that direction. Then I noticed some walking trails to check out where alligators like to hang out. There. Alligators in the park. Do not feed or approach. You hike in this trail here. I don't know, it's about maybe a total of a mile. Hi, good morning. We have everything almost all packed up now, and we'll go take one more last walk down to the beach here at Galveston State Park. This is a beautiful spot. I know it's very open here, very few trees. So when it's windy, it does get windy. But other than that, I love this spot. And one last look at the beach here in Galveston State Park. And it's a beautiful morning. The tide is actually a little higher right now. And I got all the seaweed that got washed up. But still a real nice beach up in that area. And before this tide came in, the water was out there a long ways, so this is a nice beach stand. Alright, now it's off to Louisiana. Okay, as you see, we're setting up our tent again. And this time it's at Fontainebleau State Park. It's on the northern end of Lake Pontchartrain. We're firing. It looks like the sun will be setting about maybe in an hour or so. We're going to set up our tent and then go take a look at the lake and beach area. Yeah, how's it going? Kathy's blowing up our sleeping pad, air mattress. These are comfortable. We're sleeping good on them for the few times we've slept in it. You see the sun is setting in that direction. That's actually a nice little spot. As long as it don't get a lot of rain. From right here, get a lot of rain here, it'll start to pool in some of these areas. course, this is built with a bathtub style. And plus, we put a blue tarp underneath. I'll have to tuck on under a little better, but they're not expecting rain, so that's one good thing. And as far as I know, the bathrooms are in this area over there. There's no camper next to me here, so that's private. Private right behind me. A couple of campsites over here. But so far there's no one in there. Of course, it's a Sunday night. Well, we arrived at Lake Pontchartrain. That neat like boardwalk goes out there to a gazebo. That's neat. And if you look way off in the distance, you can see the causeway. It's the longest in the world that spans over a lake at almost 24 miles. You see the sun's getting close to setting. Here's the little beach. Very nice area. In this sculpture. Well, we're gonna try to at least attempt to cook these. What kind of sausage was that?
Gross. They're jalapeno.
The jalapeno? Oh, it should be a little hot. Well, it's nice and private around here anyway.
John said they're jalapeno or something.
Now we're gonna cook these up and probably within an hour jump in our nice comfy bed in there. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is 58 degrees out here and we're just north of New Orleans at the campsite on the north end of Lake Pontchartrain. Right now we're going to start breaking down our tent. Be heading on the road very soon, heading to Biloxi, Mississippi for a motel for tonight, and then we're going to go to Panhandle of Florida for our last night of camping in a tent. Okay, it looks like everything is out here. I got the rain fly off, and it's extremely simple to break this down. I really like this mesh roof on here. It's nice for a clear night. Hopefully in Florida, our last night camping, we can go without the rain fly. That'd be nice. And of course these open up, nice screen windows. I really like this tent. Plenty of room in it. Of course, it's always nice if we had a little higher, we could stand up, but there's plenty of room for a clean air mattress. Here we're at Gator Ranch, about ready to go on a airboat ride. Pretty cool. There's some smaller ones over here. Do not feed this section, they're like baby ones.
You gotta get rid of all that food.
No.
So guys, there's a mark on that bridge ahead of us, that little squiggle there in the middle.
Yeah.
And that is an indicator of how high water levels got during Hurricane Katrina.
Oh wow.
So we're a little bit over 3 miles from the coast here. You can imagine how bad off it was a little bit further down. Jump. They propel themselves out of the water with the tail. I'd say a good 6 to 8 feet at least out in the water. To answer your question, you could get in the boat if you wanted to.
They just lounge around like they're no threat or anything.
They're chill. No, alligators, they typically have the temperament of like American bullfrog. They don't kill, they only kill to eat. You know, if they're not eating you, It ain't gonna kill you. And especially how big we are. Like if I stand up and stomp or something like that, he's gonna take off and get out of here. I don't want to scare him, but that's my bud. I would show you. Freak him out.
Now we've arrived in Florida. It's a Big Lagoon State Park, campsite 6. Looks like a nice area. As you see, got the tent set up back there. Fairly private. I mean, there's a camper right next to us there, but we got some nice woods there. And then there's the bathrooms over in that direction. I mean, overall it's fairly private. At least we got some boundaries here between other campers. This one's kind of nice though. There's a fire ring right down here. And this is an electrical hookup, so I have an extension cord running into a tent. There's a slot right there for the cord. So we have some lights inside and then charger cameras and phones and stuff like that. I'm not sure this little area is. Could possibly put a tent down here. I don't think you're really supposed to. I like the vegetation around here. It's really neat. Yeah, we stayed at the, actually spent about maybe 3.5, 4 hours. I hear a plane flying over. At the beach down here. Potato Beach, I believe it's called. That's beautiful. Potato? I think now we're going to get ready to go eat some dinner. That sounds good. I'm going to take a walk on this boardwalk. Nice little bridge right here. It's like a bay. Just on the other side of that, sand dunes, the ocean, or the Gulf. And actually, this is considered a big lagoon, I guess. It's a nice area for on the panhandle of Florida. I hear some noises off in the distance. Oh, it's a big bird of some sort. See it right there. Now I was just talking to somebody back by the parking lot. They saw a cottonmouth. Of course, that's a venomous snake. I went to look for it, but I didn't see it.
It's pretty photogenic.
Walked right past it.
What exactly is that? Salamander of some sort, or what?
Looks like it.
I don't know much about these creatures. Yeah, it looks like a herring. I couldn't tell from way back there before. Of course, you had that little, I don't know what that little lizard thing was, salamander or whatever. I'm not real familiar with them. But we're making our way up this little observation tower. And we have some kayakers out there in the lagoon. You see it's fairly shallow. You see a sand out there. Well, this has been a cool area to check out. Definitely like to come back here some day in the future and walk a lot more of these trails. It is very nice in Florida. Soon we'll be heading back to the campsite and make a campfire. Good morning to everyone. This is our final day down south on our trip, and then we start heading back up north. So we're going to start breaking down our tent, have a quick little breakfast, and we really enjoyed this trip. It was a lot of fun, did a lot of things. Of course, a video like this is always a little different because we're skipping around a little bit. I don't think I showed any of the hotel parts, just some of the camping and some of our highlights. I filmed on both this camera and my phone, so I'll try to combine videos to it. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. It's going to be a long drive back up north, and we'll catch you in the next adventure. Thanks for watching Up Trail 71.